March 28th, here we are, right at the end of the first quarter. Son of a bitch. Goes by so fast. Holy Jesus, right? Before we get to these three good-looking guys, some housekeeping stuff, okay? Real quick. Tomorrow, not tomorrow. Saturday. Everyone is invited, but a bunch of us are already going. It's going to be the celebration of life for Kathy over at Queensridge. If you know where Queensridge is, the beautiful Emerald Room, we're all going to be there for a couple hours. I think it's going to be simulcasted to Europe and Asia.
Wow.
Because of Kathy's presence in those countries with her martial arts. Crazy, the stuff we find out about Kathy, or people after, God forbid they leave us. So if you want to come by for a little bit, pay your respects. We'd be more than welcome to have you there. It should be a lot of fun. Knowing Kath and the guy Jeff Schneekman, her karate sensei, I got a feeling we're gonna have some crazy stuff set up for this. So it should be a lot of fun. So if you can stop by from 12 to 3 on Saturday, that would be really good. All right, a little bit of bad news. We got to pay our bills. MLS is due $300, right? $300. For those of you that do not pay monthly, I recommend you pay monthly. You don't have to worry about this stuff, especially the one in January. That's $600 or $700. Pay $100 a month. It's much easier. You don't have to worry about being late or catching up, or you can see. I just got a bunch of stuff. Okay. What else we got here? Sue's got the Bloodmobile coming by in next month. Those of you that like to give blood. How many of you have given blood when they come out? Right? Okay.
Kathy was every time we did a blood test, she always donated.
Yeah, we go in there a lot of times together. Do we have to schedule it or just show up?
Yeah, you gotta schedule an appointment.
Okay.
You can walk in, but it'll take you longer to go through all the steps.
Yeah, if you go here and set up like your own account, you can go on and set up a time for 10:30 or 11 o'clock instead of trying to get in there and there's 8 people in front of you. So, kind of a cool thing. We always like to get blood when we can. Where's Barbara? Rock Title? Rock Title is we're turning them upside down, getting money out of their pockets, and they're doing a taco party for us. Okay? Who's been here with the taco lady? We all know the taco lady?
It's good.
She's coming back. Really good stuff. Be a lot of fun. That's on Friday, the 19th of April. Okay? May 1st is our one day. For those of you that are new, try to look around. May 1st is the anniversary of when Realty One Group started in 2015. No, 2005. Sorry, Cuba. So it'll be our 19th anniversary this year. So we always volunteer somewhere to give back to the community. That's the idea. And I think the day before this, Suze, is we're going to.
Do not disturb is now on.
There you go. Right, we're going to do something the day before, correct? Probably.
Thinking the Just One project again?
Right, we all might volunteer 3 or 4 hours down at the Just One project. Some of you have done that. The Alexanders have done it every day, probably every week, for the last decade. Lots and lots of fun, okay? So sign up for that. You can actually buy a t-shirt. I saw an email yesterday where corporate says, I don't know how much they are, but you can buy a one-day t-shirt. If you want to go, okay? It'll be kind of fun. We're going to do the baseball thing again. It's not until July, so we're planning ahead here. Mark always handles this, Mark Ricaro. So if you have questions, concerns, call Mark. Don't call me. Don't call Suzanne. Call Stephanie. Okay? So if you haven't gone to this before, it's a lot of fun. I think it's $40, $45, $48 this year. And we have a private veranda, either down the left field line or the right field line. They bring out food for us. No one can come in, just us. A lot of fun. Okay? It doesn't include alcohol. I don't think it does. No drinking, yeah. But all the root beer you can have. Okay? So we're all gonna, as many as we can, let's go to that. I put this here so it's in the handout. These are 3 websites that you should know really well. So when we mention competition.realty, you don't look at us like we're talking a different language. Okay? Give these to your clients if you want. Okay? But know these websites because these are the ones that NAR is updating sometimes every couple of days with all the craziness that's going on. So we're not going to talk about the settlement today. Okay? Had enough of that for a little while. I think next week we're going to do lawsuit part 2. Okay? So things are changing so quickly we can't update it every day. It's kind of crazy. But these are 3 really cool websites, domain names that are just about the settlement and stuff that's going on. So really, really good stuff. That's the updated write-up schedule for the new mentees. That starts next Wednesday here in Summerlin. So Wednesday and Friday, 9 to 11 for the new agents. That's, of course, the calendar that Wendy's put together, where Wendy is, something else, there she is right there, okay? That's our calendar for that, okay? And then, as you guys all know, well, we have well, he's been here for a little bit now, but I think he's here permanent now, I think. He actually lives here now, well, I don't know about that. Almost lives here.
Getting close.
So, the beautiful bagels were brought by John Morgan at Epic Lane. So Johnny Boy, come on up and tell us a little about the Morgan.
All right. As you guys get to know me and start working with me, you're going to realize I'm not a typical lender. Like, I don't really like lenders. They used for a long time and couldn't really find a lender that stayed consistent enough for my team to use them, consistently. So, fun fact is Gary Keller actually coached me out of real estate into lending. So we were getting ready to move our massive team out of KW. He wanted to find a way to keep me in KW. Coached me for a year and actually coached me out of real estate. The team left anyway. But, so I built teams. I was a CEO at KW for a long time. So I come from a background of agent development, business development. I've grown new agents, seasoned agents, teams, expanded teams out of state. So no matter where you are in your business, if you want to go from 5 to 15, I can help. You want to go from 15 to 40, I can help. You want to go from 40 to 140, I can help. Just, there's always something in the business that I can see and offer some input on. So reach out to me, use me as much as you can. I'm here to see you guys successful. So on that note, I put out a quarterly playbook, and this one is for the spring. So quarter number 2, it's all about buyers. You'll find buyer questionnaires, we're gonna be doing some really good buyer consultations going forward. There are pages of questions you might wanna answer, so you can put together consultations. There's marketing plans. There's a section on pop buy. Who does pop buys in here? Okay.
Who knows what a pop buy is?
Okay.
Not pop by the sailor man, for those old folks.
This is a pop by, something of value, just drop by, spark conversation, a touch, okay? Where this is going, your conversations about you don't have a conversation about your value, you show value. Your conversations about the buyer broker, whatever they come out with, goes a lot better. It's a completely different conversation with someone you know and a relationship you have versus someone you meet at a front door to open the door. 2 completely different games. So go all in on your relationships. Pop buys is where it's at. I built that team that I had that was number 9 in Keller Williams across 9 states on pop buys and events. Okay, all referral. We were 80% referral, over 500 million in production across 9 states. We stopped buying leads. We figured it out that this is where it's at. It's a much better investment. So do these. This is one of my favorites. The thing about pop buys is some people will just do it half-ass. You see half-ass on the base. So they'll do it half-ass. They'll get an ice cream scoop, drop an ice cream scoop off. Cute. Do something that's gonna stay in the house. Do something that's local. Like this is from Arizona, so all the Arizona people, they see that and like, oh, John brought me this honey. They remember things like that. Do local things every chance you get. Do, like, one of my favorites in the summer is an ice cream sundae kit. It's the scoop is like this big huge spade, a stainless steel spade that everybody loves, and it stays in the house. Experiences and things that are gonna stick with people. Don't get on the cheap. And I do, like, if you're doing less than 30 deals a year, your A+ that you should be spending time on is probably less than 30 people, okay? You don't go out and do 60 pop buys a month. It kills the rest of your business. 30 people quarterly, that's 10 a month. That's a $100 investment each month. 2 hours of your time each month. It's consistency that allows you to be consistent. So there's a way to do things. There's a way to tweak things. So this marketing playbook has those pop buys in there for all summer. I do it to where it leads you through the turns and the shifts in the industry. So this one being all about buyers, it's gonna lead you into the summer, late spring, summer buyer market. The one in first quarter is all about listings. Everything about listings, scripts and marketing and all that stuff, because you're gonna be listing homes going into spring. So the fourth quarter is about business planning. So they're all set to lead use where you're not doing this, chasing things that you should be doing. So QR code will get you the link to go, you can download it, you can go on your computer to agentworkbook.com, go there. Last thing is, I was asked to do this, it's kind of a affordability worksheet where it walks you through your meeting with your client. You know, who wants to show someone $500,000 homes that can only afford $300,000? Okay, this is eye-opening for them and you. Say a lot of things, I only want to pay $1,800 a month. They don't realize what $1,800 a month will only get them. So when you do this, they're like, actually I can probably afford $2,800 a month. Okay, it saves you a lot of time. It walks you through. I took all language about qualifying out because I don't want them to feel like you're trying to qualify for a loan. It's all affordability, just so you guys can get in the ballpark. I put these on the back of your whatever flyer you want, so that way it's always there, no matter what you're doing, what the conversation is. Flip it over, scribble on it, and figure it out. So email me, text me, grab me, find me, you know, just take advantage of all this stuff. So, and like you said, I'm moving here. By the 14th, I'll be here full time on the place. So.
And then next month, you're doing meetings with Wendy every Monday?
Yes, first Wednesday of every month. We're gonna do a mortgage class. This one's Mortgage 101. Next month's gonna be about renovations. Renovations can be a big market going forward because when the inventory goes down, we don't want those crappy houses that we can just get a normal loan on. So we got ways to do that. And second homes. We have an amazing second home product. It's in-house. It's portfolio. Just locked one in. Person put 15% down, 6.875. So if you guys are working second homes, the next closest person was like 7.875 and they're paying points. So we can kill these people. But anyway.
All right, guys. John Morgan, everybody. Like the caricature. Very nice. Very nice. All right, gang. You know her. You love her. There she is. Sales manager, Wendy Scheller.
So real quick, guys, a couple of things. Like you said, new calendar just came out yesterday, so the Wednesday workshop, the first Wednesday of every month now is gonna be a mortgage class. The second Wednesday, Justin's gonna keep coming in. He's only gonna do one Wednesday a month now, but the 10th is gonna be ChatGPT and AI. The third Wednesday of every month, Barbara Becker, where she went, there she is outside. She's gonna do one of the tiles in our back office. So the 17th is gonna be on the CRM. Now speaking of the CRM, I was working at our agent mastermind on Tuesday, again, 11 a.m. Everybody's welcome to join, no matter where you are in your business. But we sit and we kind of mastermind with each other, with all the other agents. So Patrick was working with Rock Title, and I didn't realize this, but every month Rock Title does produce a newsletter. And so what you do is you customize a newsletter in Canva with all of your information. It's already filled out. All you have to do is bring your information in there and then the market stats for the month that Tim produces on Monday, and you pop that in there and bring it over to the CRM, which Barbara's gonna help us with, and then you can schedule to just go right out, guys. So it was like super easy, and I've overcomplicated things with, over the years, I gotta make a newsletter, oh my God, like, and it seems so, hard to do, but it's already done for us. So work with Rock Title, but come to all these classes and we're gonna show you how to implement that stuff and get that out the door. And then, calendar, Oh, okay, so my, what I'm gonna talk about real quick, buyer presentation, we gotta start working on that, guys, because when this hits, whatever this gonna hit, I don't even know. But we've got 3 different ones going on here, so, well, actually 4. So we have a buyer presentation in one zone. Listing a buyer presentation is beautiful, so it's how to edit it, and all of that is on the top. This one down here, Justin has sent us, no, actually, I think it was Anthony sent us this one, from Rock Title as well. So there's a different, this is page 1 and page 2, just so you know, and then Justin had sent us these other 2 also. So they're page 1, page 2, they're all buyer presentations. So I don't have the links here, but what I am gonna do is put the links to all 3 of these on the Facebook group, so you can just click on it, and they're all done in Canva again, and they're done in the free version. So if you don't have the paid version, it's okay, but you all should go up to the paid version. It's like the only one thing that I really pay for in my business, but these are done in the free version, so once you click on it, it'll open into Canva, so make sure you have a Canva account, and then you just drop your information in there, whatever you wanna do, whatever look that works for you, but we've got to start working on these, because it's super important when you present your value in the next few months. But that's all I got.
Good stuff.
That's
All right,
it.
well,
Okay,
thank
perfect.
you. All right, don't forget, Suzanne, how many numbers do we have?
23.
Farid, pick out a number from 1 to 23. 9.
Okay.
Velvet, there she is. Woo! Now, I don't know what this is, but you get it. The mouse pad, like this, we got a rock tile, something here. This is really cool. This is a, what is this? Oh, there we go. Where's that fancy notebook? Let's go to the fancy notebook. Good, Judy's got it. We got a really nice t-shirt and a bunch of pens. And somehow there's a candy bar. I don't know why. There we go, all right. All right, Joe, pick another number from 1 to 23. 23, who came in last?
Vanessa Burnett.
Where is Vanessa? Where is Vanessa? There she is, in the back. Pass that back to Vanessa. There you go, all the way back. Back. Alrighty, guys, where's my little clip? Alrighty, before we get to Joe, Farid, and Rayne, we got, you know her, you love her, Tech Thursdays. Maria, come on down. Do you, okay.
No, what?
I was gonna say, could you Barbara, no. Nothing?
Okay, I left you guys alone for a few weeks, now I have to come back and get you. Okay, so, didn't know, but Rob Title, it's in your, handouts, has put together, well, Brad put this together for me, I guess, yesterday. All of the documents that you're gonna need when you're taking on a listing in either an LLC, a bankruptcy, corporation, trust, probate, all that kind of stuff. So these are all the documents that are mandatory. So you can go through that. But the one I wanted to talk to you about a little bit, is the trust ones, because right now we're having an issue with Clark County Assessor's Office that is not putting into TaxStar the correct information. So you take TaxStar and you pull it up and it says John Smith owns the property, but then when you pull up the assessor's page, it says John Smith's trust is who owns the property. So if you don't know that ahead of time, then your listing presentation and your listing paperwork is gonna be off, and then you're not gonna be asking them for the right documents.
And to make your life easier, you have a listing, you're gonna go there tomorrow. What could you call Barbara up and ask her for that will make your life so much easier? What's it called? Okay. Yeah. Correct, Barbara?
I couldn't hear what they said.
I said they have a listing appointment on Saturday. What can they reach out to you to get in advance to make that?
Immediately, order a property profile and it's called a know before you list
Yes.
report. Or you can say lien report, I'll know what you mean, but it's a know before you list report. It has a lot of stuff, you need to know what mortgages are on there, what liens are on the property, everything. So that is something we prepare by hand for you.
Okay, but if you have an appointment today, 3 o'clock, don't email her right after the meeting and expect to get it. Okay, you gotta give a little leeway here,
If
right?
you order it in the morning, you usually have it in the afternoon. If you order it in the afternoon, you'll have it the next morning. That's what we try to do.
Perfect, okay, excellent. Carry on. Sorry.
So anyways, just make sure that you do your homework and you get to the assessor's office, along with the TaxStar, because you don't know. The other thing is please, just because the, trust says it's John Smith Trust, and he is John Smith, don't take that for granted, that that's the only person that's on there. We've had some situations, and I'll tell you a really quick story. So, this agent it was a referral from a past client, go to this property, they need to sell the property, okay, fine. It's John Smith's trust, and John Smith is who I'm talking to. John Smith signs everything, but this agent didn't go one step further, didn't ask for a property profile, and didn't get the documents ahead of time to look them over, or even at the listing agreement, or the listing presentation. What ended up happening is it went into escrow, And once it got into escrow, then the prelims came out, and guess what? John Smith can't sign anything without his daughter. So now we're in escrow, the daughter hasn't signed anything. Agent gets a hold of the daughter says, you can't sell the property. Page 157 of the trust says that that property comes to me if he passes away, so he can't sell it. So now you have to unwind this whole thing.
And when that happens, that you get this, you know, hit by a pitch in the ninth inning and everything gets messed up, who's gonna get the blame? We are, right? They're gonna blame us. Not Rock Title, not the lender, they're gonna blame us, okay? So I would have this handy, and if I have a client that's in one of these categories, I would give it to them. Say, look, this is what the title company requires, not me, not Realty One Group, what the title company requires. So it kind of gets you off the hook that way.
Right, because that's the other part of it.
You can't have it, you don't have your license yet, so you can't have it. No, I'm just kidding, I'm kidding. Barbara's gonna email it to all of us or put it on Facebook.
I can put it on Facebook, but if you want it yourself to save to your computer, which I highly
Yep.
recommend, shoot me an email. It's on the wall, Barbara.
It'll be here forever.
Yeah.
It's all Barbara stuff.
Email
Get a
me
picture of it.
today, I'll have
Yep.
it handy, I'll just send it out to anyone who wants it, save it to your computer, then you can print it out for your listing presentations, and you can have it with you.
Is there anything at the bottom that's for branding, or is that just there? Do you know?
It goes directly to Rock.
There,
No, I don't mean to scan, I mean, is this a spot for someone to put their information if they wanted to? Probably not?
it comes to you as a PDF,
Okay.
if you can figure out, I don't have a
Okay,
JPEG
all right,
of
it's not
it.
confusing.
You could probably do it in Canva.
Yeah,
You can put
yeah,
some overlay.
if you want.
Okay. Okay, so anyways, that's the biggest, issue, it's just making sure that you know who it is that your seller is before you actually start doing the paperwork on it, okay? Any questions? No, yay.
Maria, baby, there she is. And, okay. And Barbara, you're not on the agenda today, but you always can be. Anything you wanna chat about real quick, or are you okay?
I'm good.
You good?
Yeah,
Okay, ladies,
thanks for the
Barbara,
question.
some other real quick things, you'll see these in the handout, there's a bunch of classes coming up with Justin on Zoom, okay? Nice one about ChatGPT, we're doing a series of classes on Zoom. Leah is a branch manager in Arizona, she's doing one, I'm doing one on the 10th about the buyer broker agreement, and Justin's doing another one, on April 18th, regarding, TikTok, okay? So these are all in your handout, you'll see it posted everywhere, it'll be at, Suzanne will put it in the little clear thingies outside. So jump on as many of these as you can, they're always kind of fun. And this, of course, is the Monday and Thursday that everyone should attend at least once or twice, particularly the new agents, about one orientation about the company and one suite, which is the CRM. And I think Barbara's doing a class on soon.
Well, actually, this one suite training, just so you guys know, it's every single Monday of the month, and every single Monday it's a different topic, starting from the beginning of setting up your one suite, your zone website, and going through the contacts, the drip campaign. So if you jump on that Zoom, every single Monday, it's live, it's not recorded, and you can actually have within 1 month, have everything set up. So
Nice, good stuff.
that's nice.
So again, take advantage of all this free stuff, all this training. It's there for you. So the more you take these classes over and over again, the better, okay? Okay, I don't know what to say. We're good? We're good, big fella?
Hi.
Hi, oh, hi. Miss AHS, do you wanna chat for a minute?
Yes,
Sure,
thank
come
you.
on in,
Thanks for
there you
having
go, come on out. Ladies
so
and gentlemen,
you guys-
Nora Di Gregorio is with us
Yeah,
today. There she
but
is.
if you could just pass those out, I just wanna tell you really quick, I'm passing out a flyer, it's for the Front Door app. Have you ever walked into a property and thought, I wish I had a technician that I could call about something that your buyer asked about? So Front Door is our new app. It's not, you don't have to have a home warranty, it has nothing to do with home warranty. It's strictly an app, think of telehealth, right? You guys ever called a doctor and done a video chat?
Yes.
Yes? Video chat with a doctor? Have you ever been on the phone with Cox Cable? And they're like, unplug this, okay. Same idea, the app is designed to help the homeowner DIY their repair. And if they can't DIY it, they'll give them a clear diagnosis, so they can say, you can either go to your home warranty or call a handyman or a technician. But I think this is really great for you as an agent. if you're, we're talking about bringing value, if I always try to put myself in your place. If I was an agent and I was walking through a home with a buyer and the buyer asked me about something, right, the water heater, whatever, if I had this app that I could just call a live technician here in the US, these are licensed contractors, this is all they do is answer the phone and help homeowners with repairs. And so I feel like as an agent, it's a great added value for you to have that technician every time you walk into a house. It's not attached to a property, it's part of your app in your phone. So anywhere you go, you have somebody you have access to. Here's my call to action. Help a sister out. Please download the app. Try it. Your first call is free. I know we all have something in our home that we could talk to a technician
It's
about.
not the drug. I don't have to have a warranty with you to
No,
use this.
this has nothing to do with home warranty.
Okay.
You do not have to have a home warranty. Obviously, you have a home warranty and there's a repair that needs to be made. The cool thing is you could say, hey, I talked to a front door vendor and they said, this is what's wrong, is it gonna be covered? So it saves a lot of time, it saves money, but more than anything, we found that there's two types of homeowners. The ones that want somebody to fix it, and then our newest homeowners, which want to DIY it. Do you know how many YouTube DIY things there are? What if you could actually talk to a technician while you're doing a DIY, and it's on anything? So I encourage you to please try it, download the app, try the free one. If you like it, it's $25 for the year, and you can call as many times as you want. But here's the cool thing that's coming for you. You're gonna be able to gift this to your clients for a referral, maybe a transaction that was a little bumpy, they didn't close with a home warranty. It's a great little gift. So I'll talk about it more, and today was not my day.
Thank you, no,
Just kinda
you're
snuck
okay.
in.
You can speak anytime.
Thank
All right,
you.
I'm gonna go through, as you've noticed at some of our meetings, when we have people speaking, we want them to talk for at least a half hour or whatever. So we don't get through all of the stuff that's in the handout, so make sure you take a handout. But these are the recent stats. Also, what's not in the handout is this, hopefully you grabbed it up front. This is the latest from NAR about the lawsuit, okay? That has to do with this a little bit too. If I'm on one more NAR settlement Zoom call, I'm gonna commit suicide. And I've seen a lot of you guys on them with me, okay? With Pat Kelly, with Alex, with NAR. But it's good, you need to be on these things, okay? Because clients are starting to ask about it, okay? One of the agents came up to me the other day, Tim, I'm going on a listing appointment, and on the phone she goes, well, I don't have to pay the other side of the agent anymore, right? Okay, here we go, it's starting. So you need to know what to say, okay? As opposed to, okay, see you tomorrow too. I mean, yeah, so you gotta get into the lingo of having some conversations about this, and this is some of the material that'll help you do that. It really, really will, okay? So again, some more stats are in here. This is a real good one. Bring it on your listing presentation. We're at the top of the list, top 10 in Las Vegas the last 13 to 15 years. We've been the top broker for volume. Third. Okay, and again, you can go through some of these as you we have some stats going back a year, so you can do some comparisons. So some really, really good stuff here. So, alrighty, gang, let's get to why we're all here. Where are these good looking guys? Where's the? Come on, Rayne, you're first, I think. All right, gang. So we're fortunate that we have not just these three really good commercial agents in our office. We have several throughout the company. Okay, and I know some residential agents that dabble in it. Okay, but these guys primarily do it. Like, I don't want to say 99% of the time, but a good majority of their career is just commercial. Okay, in 15 years I've done 5 commercial deals. I've farmed them all out. I'll take 25%. I don't want to get involved. I mean, I want to get involved because it's my client. Okay, but I don't want to get involved in the deal. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, the first time I talked to a commercial agent years ago. I brought up my client wanted to lease an office space, and I said, so how big is the kitchen? And he looked at me, what are you talking about? Sorry, what are you talking about? They don't call it a kitchen, it's the break room in a company, right? It's not a kitchen, in residential, it's a kitchen. But in a company, it's the break room or another adjective. So little stuff like that is important. But in there are their bios a little bit, except for Joe. Joe is unknown, okay? We're not sure if that is Joe, but we'll figure it out as time goes on here. But and the timing for this is really good, because for 15 years, they don't have an MLS. They don't know what their co-op is. They've never known what the co-op is. welcome to the world that we're going into now, gang. So we're gonna talk, me and Wendy have 10 questions here. If you guys have any, we'll get to them towards the end. But, ladies and gentlemen, Joe Pessin, Rayne Alexander, and Farid Here we go. Somebody's gotta sit in this. I'm the middleman. There you go. This. Thank you guys.
Just make it look good. Not bad.
Man, there we go. All right, guys, so, 30 seconds, tell everybody who you are. You know,
Pessin, been licensed 30 years, doing commercial 28 of them, all here in Las Vegas. Been with Realty 12 years.
yes, I'm gonna have it right here. All right, Mr. Alexander.
Rayne Alexander, I've been licensed 20 years, been doing commercial about 5, and I'm the team lead of the Alexander Worthen team. Been there for 7 years now.
7 years. And last but not least, Mr. Matraki. I love saying that name, Matraki. I don't know why.
Matraki?
Matraki, sorry. I didn't say it wrong for 5 years.
Been in the real estate business about 25 years, mostly commercial. The last couple of years since I joined Realty One in 2020, I did some residential, but mostly I do commercial.
And we'll get to Farid more. He has a unique background coming from the leasing of large office spaces, okay? Restaurants, and, well, he'll tell you, okay? All right, Wendy, I'll hit him off with the first question. Rayne, you started off residential and jumped to commercial, right?
Correct.
How come you went to commercial?
It's always been a dream of mine, actually. I just love it, it's different. So residential, it's never the same thing twice, but commercial, there are so many different aspects of a transaction, and it fascinates me, it keeps me interested, and I like to learn. There's always something new to learn about commercial real estate.
And Joe, you do both too, right? But
Yeah.
a minimal amount of residential. Well, not much, but,
70-30.
okay. What's the big difference, and anyone can answer this, between me and you, because I don't do commercial, from an agent point of view?
You know, it's just a different style of transaction. The things that matter to the clients are different. I just find it more exciting. I have found residential real estate to be somewhat mundane. I've had people argue over things like whether a toilet flushes properly and things that just don't have any interest to me. But in a commercial deal where you're, watching a property come from the ground up, or you're helping a company lease their corporate office space, or we just closed on a Starbucks, that's just always different. It's exciting, it's new, it's never the same thing twice.
And now, Farid, correct me if I'm wrong, when you joined, I remember when you did during COVID, right? And you talked about it. Your goal was really not to do residential at all. I mean, you'll do it, of course, you know how to do it. But you really just wanted to dive into luxury commercial, correct?
That's right. Well, my background that's what my background was, and I started with residential, and I would say probably 75% of the residential deals that I did were friends and family. I didn't go after anybody to sell or buy a home for them, or whoever reached out to me out of my database. That's what I was doing, but I was focusing on the commercial the whole time.
What was your commercial experience before you got licensed as a MGM employee? If I remember that part right.
Before that, for 13 and a half years, I was with a company called LVMH, which is the Moet Hennessy Louis Vuitton. So I was doing leasing for them and in operation. Then after that, I joined MGM to build the city center. So I actually built the shopping center that is called the Crystals. And I did a leasing for the Crystals, which was about 500,000 square feet. And that's when really I got involved in the commercial, and then from there I was in charge of the leasing for the whole MGM worldwide, which I had about 800 leases to manage.
Wow.
So as Joe said, I was more interested in that than even when I came here to sell homes.
So you were on the other side of one of Joe or Rayne's deals? I mean, maybe not, I don't know if you were or not, but technically,
Oh,
right?
absolutely,
Yeah,
yeah.
you'd have an agent
Yeah,
represent
yeah.
you, Joe would have a leasing tenant, and you'd be the one making the decision, or one of the people making the decision on that
Yeah,
tenant.
until 2020, I was the landlord.
There you go, okay, that's the better word, I got you, okay, got you. Wen, you wanna hit him on anything?
Yes. Are there educational requirements to do commercial?
Technically not, but I would not venture into this realm of real estate without education. I've taken many, many classes. I'm starting my CCIM journey, which is a designation. There is too much that can go wrong in a commercial transaction for you not to be educated. And sometimes education isn't just a classroom education, it's talking to another commercial agent, experiences, things like that. So this is not something to take on lightly at all. Want to elaborate a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I've taken a gazillion classes. The board offers all kinds of classes just to dip your toe in the water, all the way to getting your CCIM. I just have been doing it so long that a lot of my education has just been out there in the trenches, just learning as you go, which I don't recommend by today's standards. But there's tons of classes that are always available, and most of them are very interesting. And you know, if you really want to do this, I think that's very, very important. You can learn from me or Rayne or Farid, but you know, we're not teaching the classes. I think a lot of our experience is just, you know, in the deal. So I think a lot of the classes are very well worth it.
It's like learning how to drive from your dad.
It's stressful.
So if I'm a residential agent, is there a special commercial agent license I have to get? Like, you know, from the division or LVR, or is it just
Nope.
my regular license is good enough?
Your license allows you to sell commercial real estate. Realty One obviously has its own requirements. I'm a member of the Commercial Alliance through the board, which I think is important. But you can get your CCIM, and there's some other designations that are available, but you're technically, your license lets you do that, but it's a kind of stay in your lane kind of thing. The division is very particular, and if somebody does a commercial deal without, you know, the experience of doing it and something goes sideways, the liability is just catastrophic. So it's not recommended.
So everyone in this room can do commercial, technically.
I mean, your license
Yeah,
allows
okay.
it, it's not,
Yes.
I wouldn't recommend it if you
Right.
don't know what you're doing.
I'm with you, no, we put the plug in that baby real quick.
No,
I was gonna say, I had to get special permission from Realty One.
There you go, exactly, we'll talk about that.
Now, I do have to say, in 2020, I thought, okay, you know, so many years and 15 years in at this point, I'm like, let me dabble in commercial, because that's where I thought I really want to do. We have buildings and throughout the family. I took 8 classes, and I said, well, this is just not for me. So really, guys, start with the classes if it's something that interests you, and see if that's even something you want to go forward with, because it's not for everybody, it really isn't.
Who offers these classes?
She's all around town.
There's classes everywhere, LVR offers them, you get something from a title company. Joe mentioned this before,
Oh, I've never taken.
LVR has something called CALV. When you join LVR, they wanna know if you wanna join CALV, it stands for the Commercial Alliance of Las Vegas. It's the commercial part of LVR, okay? I think it's $200 a year.
Yep.
Yep.
And they have, I think there's like 300 members of our 17,000 that are like us and like them, that pay the extra $200 to be in their little club. And I'm sorry about that. You know these commercial guys, I'm just saying, but they meet quarterly, they have forms that you have access to because of the $200 you're spending. Because I've had agents that ask me, hey Tim, here's an example, you get a residential client, Kelly, they wanna buy a house, but it's not for 6 months, you put them on an MLS strip, right? And they could window shop for months. Client came up to me a while back, hey Tim, I got a guy, he's a doctor, and his lease is up in 6 months, and he wants me to put him on a drip to look at properties for 6 months. Sounds logical, right? It doesn't exist. There is no MLS for commercial. It doesn't exist, okay? They have these other crazy websites, .loop or Shortline,
LoopNet.
something point, LoopNet. Yeah, that they pay, you pay to have access to that, right?
Oh, yeah.
So that's just give you an example of how much of a different animal it is, okay? Who else had their hand up? Patty, did you have a question? Sure, Patty.
I have no interest in getting into commercial, and I always wonder, how do you find out where your listings are, what's available, what's already rented, and also, what kind of commission do we, referral fee, or do you offer?
So there's, LoopNet.
Negotiable.
LoopNet, Crexi, and RealNext are probably, LoopNet, Crexi, and RealNext are probably the 3 main commercial databases. They have a public side, but it's very limited. They're all membership based, so I do a fair amount of my work through those. That's where a lot of the
Same.
commercial brokerages, list property. In terms of, if I don't wanna speak for these guys, if someone just refers me a commercial deal, and we pay the same 25% as if it was a residential deal. Where it gets a little gray is when, an agent says, I wanna work the deal with you. And I know what I'll do for my part of the referral fee, and, we try to work out what somebody's gonna do for their side of the transaction, and that's always just dialogue based. We sit and talk to someone and try and come up with a reasonable split. I've worked as high as 50% and as low as 10% on my end, depending on, the scope of the deal and what's involved. But I would say generally 25%. I mean, I feel like if someone makes a referral, even if it's not residential, they should get the same as if it was a residential referral. I've always felt that.
But your commissions, like we typically give 5%, 2.5%. What is it commercial?
Oh, are you talking about, a list?
That's a question, that's number 14 on the list. Take a breath and number. What a lot of you have done in the past, you would call me up and say, hey, Tim, I got a commercial agent, a commercial deal, I think. And I'd ask a little bit about it. And then usually I give you all three of their names. Call them up, okay? Well, speaking of that, do you guys think you have a specialty in commercial? Are there specialty niches in commercial? Like
There are
luxury?
specialty niches, but I'm sort of a generalist at the moment. I haven't
Okay.
found anything.
Deal's
that
a
I
deal,
really-
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
leasing,
You guys are
sales,
saying
listings,
trade in
all,
here?
yeah.
I do mostly master planning, so
What is that,
I
in
try-
residential language?
I try not to get involved in the leasing. So I'll give you an example. I'm doing something with Rayne. They're building a $4 billion project in UAE. So I'm the consultant to do the whole 180,000 square feet of retail. I do the master planning, and then after that, let them do the leasing. So I monitor the leases, but I just don't have the horsepower. We need 15 people to help us.
Right, got it, okay.
We need a big team to do that. So that's what I prefer to do now.
Okay, that makes sense, that makes sense.
That's not even considered real estate sales then, right? That's not even in the realm of real estate, if you're just putting together master plan stuff, like that's more construction or
No,
consultation?
you're still telling them, what the depth of the stores have to be, what the height of the stores have to be, back of the house versus front of the house, still retail, still commercial, but
Sounds like a lot of fun.
yeah, it's honestly, if think about 150,000 square feet of retail, 10-year lease, $500 a square foot, my commission would be $20 million. They're not gonna cut me $20 million. They just said, you do
I'll
this.
say that.
We have an inside team that manages that. You just come and set everything up, and then you monitor all the lease negotiations and everything, and we do it internally. That's usually what we do.
All right, guys, give me your expertise on this, because we have to start doing this now. So I'm a commercial agent, no, you're a commercial agent. And, but I'm a commercial agent at Remax, as an example. And you see my listing on one of the websites, 30,000 square feet, blah, 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 blah. Your commission is not on that website, right? You don't know what I'm paying you, or my client is paying you. correct?
Typically not.
Typically not, right? So what's the conversation when you guys would call up to find out how much you're gonna get paid? I don't wanna say role play with you, but you know what I'm saying, give me an example how that goes.
Well, you call, you ask your questions about the property and the use, and if it's gonna be accepted and whatnot, and then it's kind of, is the landlord or the seller offering a co-op, and what is that?
Okay, and I tell you,
Yeah.
and you're okay with it, then what happens? How do you make sure you get paid?
You typically negotiate that in the LOI, letter of intent,
Okay,
right off the top.
what is an LOI? Well,
Letter of intent,
Letter of
it's sort of
intent.
the commercial version of an offer.
Of an RPA, right?
Yeah, and you just kind of outline the terms of your deal, whether it's a lease or a purchase. And you just put your commission co-op in there, but then you always have to send a commission invoice. Usually, and I do a lot of leasing, usually that invoice is just emailed to whatever property management company has that property, and then they just cut you a check directly. But you have to invoice them. There's certainly in leasing, there is no escrow. You're in charge of the documents that are on your side of the deal, so you have to invoice for your fee or you'll never get paid.
So there's no commission instructions?
No
No.
such thing.
No, that doesn't exist,
Not on
right?
leasing.
Right, okay.
And most of the listings say, under commission comments, it's just either blank, or it says negotiable, or call broker. Whatever if I call and ask what it is, if someone says 2.5, I'm gonna ask for 3. I always ask for more, because a lot of times, that hasn't been set in stone yet. Certainly in a lease, we always ask for 4%. Most of the time we get 2.5 or 3.
Okay.
But it's all negotiable.
Does the buyer broker agreement exist in your world? What if the co-op is 1% and you don't wanna take that? Is there a way where your buyer gets involved, like our buyers might have to in the future?
Not really. I mean, it would be difficult to, certainly in the leasing world, to try to get your tenant to pay. I mean, I charge a tenant a doc processing fee of like $500, which just kind of covers the stuff here. But in terms of a buyer-broker agreement I suppose on a commercial purchase you can, but I mean, most commercial deals, there is a co-op for the other agent. They're not, they understand the value of having an agent on the other side, so you're gonna get a commission. And usually it's split with the other agent.
The other agent?
I do a lot of deals on the strip, and it's the opposite, because most of the strip properties don't pay broker fees. So I have to go and tell the tenant, if the property doesn't pay it, you have to pay it, and I sign a contract with them.
Yeah.
It's just,
So it's slightly different than residential, right? Just a little bit, right? Just a little bit, Wayne, anything on your list?
What are the 2 or 3 major differences between doing commercial and residential? What do you guys think? Because you guys all have done both sides. What do you think the major differences are?
Research, I think, is the number one thing. It's a very, very time-consuming process because there is no centralized website of information. And there's nothing to set up like an auto feed, like you're one and done. Every single day I'm in there looking for different properties because different listings come up. And I'd say there's no, commercial clients seem to have they're more far out. They're just not like, I'm ready to go. It's like, I'm interested, but I'm working with guys for now 2 or 3 years that are finally starting to make moves, and I've been like sending them properties for all that time, so it's a lot more time consuming, I guess. So you just have to be very patient.
And you go as far as finding land, buildings, dealing with.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a contractor for a guy who wants to build a badminton, sports center right now, so there's all sorts of different, it's very interesting, it's never the same thing, but that's why I love it so much.
Do you go as far as actually even handle the land purchase as well? Or leasing, like if it's like a franchise?
Oh, the ground lease, yeah.
Is it fair to say, guys, you guys do more leasing than buying or selling? Or?
It goes in waves. These days it
That's
goes more.
accurate.
Yeah, I mean, not that.
Right now I'm 50-50.
Really? Okay, I got you. And like you guys, as you all know, when you call me and you have a commercial client, I have you call these guys. And how many deals do you have to do with them before you can do it on your own?
3.
3. You have to do 3, okay? If you try to sneak one in and you get caught, the big thing is errors and omission insurance does not cover you. Their names are on a separate addendum at corporate that covers that. They don't cover it. Well, they might cover it. You're married to her. It's not covering Tony, because, so if something goes wrong with his commercial deal that went through and it closed, and we didn't see it or something, not that he would ever do that, and there's a lawsuit, he's on his own. They're gonna take his house.
What's the deductible, Tim, for commercial?
Yeah, what is the deductible? Does anybody know?
50,000?
50,000? Anybody know?
That's what I was told.
Yes, $50,000.
oh, hell no.
Absolutely. And how much is it, and contrastly, how much is it for you as a residential agent? So you get sued as a residential agent. What's your deductible to realty one?
1,000?
I got 1,000.
None.
I got none.
Nothing.
I said none. I got 1,000, none, and 10,000. I got 500. Give me one more. It's 0. 0, Annabali, very nice. Yes. Yes. Goes back to the old adage, realtors don't like to read. We don't read anything. We sign shit all the time. Right? sign like crazy. So I figured we read it before we sign, okay? But that's one of the big, again, the benefit for here compared to our competitors. A lot of them, at Remax, it was $5,000. My buddy got sued. He had to pay $5 to Landmark Insurance. I remember like it was yesterday. Michael Fistudo, nice guy. His head almost exploded when he had to write up that check to the insurance company. So typically, if they have a potential client, and you guys are all similar, what do you want them to do? What should they do before they call you? Or email you, or whatever? Hey Joe, it's Tim, I got a commercial deal, call me? Or how does that go?
I mean, a lot of times the referring agent doesn't really know the right questions to even ask to sort of vet the deal, which is fine. I mean, I wouldn't expect them to. So, in a perfect world, we would take the phone call, chat for a little bit. I always have someone just introduce me to the client, like in an email, is always easiest. And then I'll reach out and ask what I need to ask. And if it's a viable deal, then we're rolling. And if it isn't, that's okay too. 6 out of 10 aren't. Might be 8 out of 10. A lot of people that think they're ready as far as a commercial client, that they want to do something, find out what's involved and pump the brakes. So, but that initial vetting process is super important.
And how much involvement do you want us to have with you guys in the deal?
That's what,
Honestly.
I piggyback on that.
Probably zero, but no.
So- And sometimes, like, our boss will say, the first 3 that you do commercial, they want you to work with you guys, but I don't know if you want us to. Does that make sense?
Well, they want the deal. Don't get me wrong.
But do they want us to
To be a
involved in
pain- to be a
it?
pain in the ass?
Right, like,
No.
right, right. See, you're speechless.
There's a real fine line between
Exactly.
someone working the deal as just watching how it goes, which I think is what Realty One needs, versus trying to work the deal. If a non-experienced agent is out there talking and doing and exchanging, they're creating, I mean, the amount of liability is just, it's off the chart.
So you want us to
If
sit
you wanna,
down
if
and
you wanna shock yourself, I don't know if the division or the commission still prints out that list of people that have been brought up on.
it's digital.
Watch the people that have done commercial that shouldn't, the fines are bananas. So I try to encourage people, come along for the ride, but like, let me be the tip of the spear.
Right.
Don't get in the way, cause people will say and do things with the best of intentions, and then it just creates problems without even trying. So I mean, in a perfect world, I'd love someone to just give us the referral, and if you wanna come along for the deal, great. Watch what goes on, but just kinda understand the
Be a silent partner.
hierarchy.
Be a silent partner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just think
Ask
about it as
questions.
you're referring your client to a Realty One in Montana. You're not part of the deal. You're gonna monitor it, but you're not part of the deal, okay?
And I'm good about updating, like, I'll update with you what's going on, hey, we found a property, we're going to contract, this is what's kind of going on, whatnot, et cetera, or didn't quite work out, we're moving on to the next, but I'm always in contact with who's referring me deals.
But you guys have said, no one in particular, have said, when I give it a commercial deal, or not me, but they'll say, if you think you're just gonna toss it to us and get X amount commission, you're wrong, so, is that what you mean?
That's
Like,
horrible. if
I
someone
know.
says that. Isn't that sort of the definition of a referral?
Right.
These guys.
Yeah.
You could get.
That's not my business model.
That's preferable.
Yeah.
And then
Right,
just,
right.
we'll send you the.
Right.
I mean, and to be honest,
Literally a referral.
yeah, exactly. Most residential agents, think the commercial guys, are up here and we're down here, okay? That's how I felt as an agent, right? I call a commercial guy at Remax, yeah, Tim, send me your name, I'll see what I can do, gotta go. What a jerk, but these guys aren't jerks. They're gonna help get you involved as much as they can.
I can speak for him, he's helped me with multifamilies and it was great, it was easy.
Yeah, I mean, we just don't know what we don't know, and we think we're helping the client by offering advice, but we might be killing the deal, okay? Never say, well, yeah, that's, let me get back to Joe, let me hook Farid in on this phone call before you say something, okay? Because you mean well, but like Joe said, the liability is just catastrophic. I mean, companies have gone out of business because of deals that have gone wrong with the suit.
We all have our specialties, right? So this is just their specialty, that area.
I would think if you are a residential agent, have a client that wants to do a commercial deal, I would think that client would want you to refer them to someone that knows what they're doing, instead of being your guinea pig.
And as you're taking listings or you have clients, know what their profession is. I know that's obvious, you should know what your client does for a living. But a perfect example was me and Farid 2 years ago. Kylie Labrador, she's a mentee here, but she's a full-time pharmaceutical rep. She sells pharmaceuticals. Doctor contacts up the wazoo. They go on a listing appointment, okay? Or maybe, did I go with her? Maybe later, somehow. In taking the listing, the doctor goes, just in passing, Kylie, don't forget, in a couple weeks or a couple of months, I'm gonna be moving, because I need new office space for my practice. Now, a lot of you might just continue writing out that listing agreement, but the bells went off, holy shit, and then we referred it to Farid, and Farid and her, she got paid on an $800,000 house, and then I don't know how big was the lease, it was huge.
4,000 square feet office.
Yeah, so I don't know, how much can you make on something like that, just for shits and giggles?
$20,000.
$20,000, okay? But so when you're talking to clients, dentists, doctors, anyone that has office space, just ask them, so how's the space going here, doc? Or, whatever it might be, you'd be surprised, because they don't know what you do, and then you refer them to these guys, and you get a really nice referral. It could turn into a windfall of sorts here, All right, gang, we have a few more minutes. Questions, anybody wanna
So
bombard
that,
them?
on piggyback on that, if you were to say you were in your doctor's office, are you trying to look for them, this place is getting too expensive? If it's a whole new lease, or can they help negotiate another lease already in the spot? Like, no.
A sublease, is that what you're talking about?
No, like.
No,
Or
it's-
they,
it's-
you wanna like,
People
yeah, we
wanna
can do that.
re-up their lease, like they already, so they would have to
The
just
landlord
contact the
usually reaches
landlord.
out to you, they're not gonna pay somebody to do that.
So for a new,
And if you take somebody to a landlord they already dealt with, remember, your commission goes to half.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was trying to lease a warehouse to somebody and they said, well, they already are clients in another location, so your fee is 2.5 instead of 5.
Right.
We did the deal anyway, but still, so we just have to be careful.
Yeah, there's a huge misconception that every commission we earn
Yes.
is got a shitload of zeros on it. Couldn't be further from the truth. I've had commissions that are $500.
Yeah,
So-
for sure have.
So my question would be, obviously from your past is where a lot of your referrals in business come. But if you were trying to generate new, like let's say we wanted to start generating commercial, where would be a place to go? Where would we put ads, Facebook ads, calls, whatever? How would we do that?
I don't know it really
Yeah.
well, but I would put commercial on your business card, on all yours, whatever, say you have a commercial partner. Any one of us will partner with you on any deal, so that's,
Yeah.
But the only thing that scares me about that, to be honest with you, we need to kind of stay in our lane here, you talked about commercial, and then the senior vice president of Amazon calls you and inquires about it. I wouldn't know what to say.
well, you could say.
And I'm sure you guys don't know what to say. They know what to say,
Maybe more specifically, if it's not a referral, how do you get your business? I'm just curious.
Database.
If it's not
Almost
a
all of
referral.
mine at this point is referral.
Exactly.
So repeat clients.
Sphere of influence,
I know for.
past occupations, yeah, it's a totally different animal, they're not sending out postcards.
I do a lot of warehouse leasing, a lot, that's half of what I do at least. A lot of people are just step-up tenants, so put them in 3,000 feet, and then 3 years from now, I'm ready for 5, and then I'm ready for 8, and or their business expands, and, they shoot off into another location. A lot of it just kind of springboards into other deals.
Do you get referrals from lenders? The lenders ever refer to you, so perhaps partnering with a lender that we would?
I've had lenders have me lease them office space. But I talk to everybody that will listen. So I'm out there.
It's true.
My mind's churning because I used to process loans for Longview Savings and Loan, and they did commercial, and I'm thinking, maybe a resource.
That's what I do, is I'm out there and I tell people I do commercial real estate all the time, and I've gotten deals that way too.
Yeah.
And think about it, Monday to Friday, 40-hour work week, Joe's in here, I don't know, 4 hours. Farid, I don't know where he is half the time. God knows where Farid goes, but we see him every 3 weeks, and he picks up a $80,000 check when he comes in, stuff like that. So their business is out there. It's where sometimes we wait for it to come to us, we think it's gonna come to us with the postcards and social media and stuff. Yes.
So I have a question. You know how in residential world you have to trade group to buy a house? So in commercial, how does it work? What are the requirements for people? Do they have to be, someone who already had business for a certain time? Can they be newbies? Can they be foreign nationals? Do they have to season money on their checking account, rental or bill?
So on leasing, most landlords have kind of a checklist of things they wanna see, for someone to put in an offer to lease space. Some type of financials is gonna be important. If they have existing locations, sure, that's helpful. On a purchase, I won't even start with someone until they've gone and at least spoken to one of our loan partners, and we ask them to issue what's called a term sheet, which is sort of the commercial version of a pre-approval letter. Cause you're not gonna get any traction with the other commercial brokers if you're just out there kicking doors in and wasting everyone's time.
So for purchasing commercial, if they, let's say they trying to build, do they have to, can they finance the land, or can they, do they have to buy the land?
There's all different kinds of programs out there. And it depends on who, you know, like we're working with a doctor now. Bank of America happens to have an amazing medical commercial financing program. Dental, Wells Fargo has a great dental. So it just depends on who your client is and what type of financing.
I have a question.
Three more questions.
Who specializes in restaurants? Cause I have like friends at Nacho Daddy, Broken Yoke, Teriyaki Madness, and yeah, they're obviously opening more and more all the time. Broken Yoke opens one like twice a year.
I did this thing between a business broker and
Is that what you're asking? Is it-
And dental offices.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's real property,
Yeah.
we can touch it. If it's
Yeah.
just someone
But who
selling their
specializes
FF&E
in
business,
it?
we can do that.
Cause if
I've done a bunch
you
of
do
restaurants.
warehouses.
So already existing restaurants, cause that's business brokerage, right?
No.
Like
No.
you're selling
No,
it.
like you're getting the restaurant.
Just talking about
Talking
just
about, like,
finding the
physical
location
space.
for them to
Okay,
open.
it's a whole new one.
Yeah.
Correct.
With
Correct.
three of us, we've done restaurants, it depends where it is.
Right.
So I had, can I just tell you, so you just mentioned restaurant.
Well, you didn't bring a bio, and you
I
wanna
know.
talk more than that.
So, there was an agent here years ago who wrote up 2 restaurants in one of the hotels downtown, for lease. And she wrote up the deals on a residential purchase agreement, just crossed out, like, and wrote stuff on the last page. And somehow got that through compliance.
Wow.
That was before Maria, I'm sure. All right, gang, 2 more. Okay, Kim.
Oh, I was just gonna say, we have so many people moving to town, and to ask them, are they moving their business here as well? We're leaving that part out of the puzzle. I know our own team has given Rayne many referrals by just asking that question, because they're moving here too, and they need to move their business. So ask your clients if they're doing that as well, and that could give you a great referral.
But can you guys say like what restaurants you've done, or like
Does it
how
matter?
often you
Does
do
it
them?
matter?
Yeah, because I don't wanna send my clients to somebody who has never done a restaurant,
Well,
like,
they've
I
all
wanna
done
see their
restaurants.
resume.
They've all done restaurants.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
which one?
Then why- So if I'm your client, why would that matter? I'm not saying it doesn't, each client's different.
I guess the location, just
The
to
clients
see.
are high maintenance, like, they're like, why should I leave my broker to use yours? And then I have to like
So they'll
vouch
only use
for
us,
the
if the
broker.
teriyaki bandits, they'll only use Joe if he sold the Japanese restaurant.
Well, no, I
No,
like
of
to
course
know
not.
a little
Of
bit
course
about
not.
their story,
Yeah.
like.
Well, that's where you refer them to them and let them tell the story, instead of
Yeah.
you trying to tell it, or us. You can't tell it, they know it.
I
You
could see
know what I'm
the
saying?
point in this.
They're gonna do the sales job for you, you know.
But I could still see the point.
Sure,
because
sure.
Let's say.
So I'll give you an answer. So last deal I did in a restaurant was the Nosrat Turkish Steakhouse in Park MGM.
Nice,
That was
congrats,
a $50 million deal.
nice.
The one after that, I just did a deal in Palms Hotel, put a Mexican restaurant. But
Oh,
that
yeah,
that
but
still
that-
doesn't mean that I can serve the teriyaki madness the right
Right.
way. It's not.
Exactly.
You just have to, they could maybe do a
Yeah,
better
'cause that
job
might be,
or
like,
or vice versa.
below
It's
your
just-
caliber.
No, it's nothing to do with that. It's just a fact
You're
of-
not shocked, don't take anything here.
Sometimes it's just a personality thing.
Exactly. I know the, by the way, I know the owner of Teriyaki Madness, so the reason I'm telling you that is they might be specialized more on finding things off the strip than on the strip. So it's just really what they're looking for, and he doesn't wanna be in Bellagio, he wants to be somewhere else, so it's one of us could have that
Drive-by
expert.
traffic.
That's right,
Yeah.
exactly. Just-
Location.
And those guys, by the way, they do $10 million.
Well, it's actually a
$10 million in each
girl,
location,
and it's a
great business
franchise, so they're all different.
But again, if it was me, if I'm a resident and someone wants to specific like that, I'm gonna get all their information, and maybe I'm gonna get on the phone with Joe and my client, or Farid and my client.
Exactly.
You know what I'm getting at? Because we're not knowledgeable enough to answer that.
Your
Okay?
commercial
We're really not.
resume.
We're really not. All right, one more. Anybody have one more? Of course, Carrie, go, baby.
Since commercial, deals are much longer in length, what's the longest when you sat in start to finish time-wise of E3?
Oh, that's easy, we just closed it. We opened escrow, for a kiddie academy kindergarten on Craig and Rancho in November of 2022, and we just closed it last month.
So year and a half, what about you guys?
Mine was 2 years.
2 years, Rayne?
Lucky enough to just say 90 days so
Wow.
far.
These are not quick money deals.
No.
Typically, Rain's lucky, that's 90 days is nothing. But commercial agents wait a while to their chance.
If something's being developed out of the ground, and having to deal with the city and the county, it's just, at Henderson, awful.
All right, hope you guys got something out of this. Down here now. Don't leave yet, hey, give me 2 more minutes, 2 more minutes, 2 more minutes. Really, really important stuff. All right?